Welcome back to SUPRS Live. This is the SUPRS Broadcasting Network, and we just finished up a 50 lapper in 12 minutes 15 seconds at Route 93, the square circle, and it was close at the end of that one. Bob Gamble with the win. Rocket Rob Warren, man, you did everything you could possibly do to pick up. I think it'd be like your third straight win here at Route 93. It's a tough old joint, big old square circle. You had some pressure from behind from Keith Powell as well. Tell us about your race tonight, man. That was interesting back there. You guys were really battling.
Thanks, buddy. Congrats on the win. We actually really want to hear about your win, but I'll do mine real quick. I think my previous wins where I just happened to get lucky with handicap and start in or near the front and not have such a fast car on the pole or be the pole. I'm not sure which, but you got a great start. Not jumping it. I was trying to lay back to see if I could jump it, but I couldn't. And we got a good run down the front straightaway. You were about a car length out on me going into turn one. And then the sights were set on kill. So I just followed you. You had a good half a second lead. And I could reel that in really, really slow. But once I made a tiny mistake, I would lose all of that and go back to a half a second behind. And then have to make that all back up. And as I was watching the lab cars and where you were driving and where I was driving, and you could really pull me off the exit of turn four, which is where I thought I'd have to have a car to make a pass without a bonsai move, and I didn't want to do that either. But you had a great car, man. I couldn't keep up with it, and when I could finally catch up to it, you would just like turn the afterburners on and go. I could hear the pitch of the engine change on exit of turn four, and Keith will attest to this. I had no go apex of 3 down the front straightaway because I was pinching the car too hard. But I think there's about 4 ways you can drive turn 4, 2 of which really work well, and I was trying the other 2 more often than not. But again, congrats on a win. Really want to hear about your run. I know you're out front, but lap cars and everything that was going on, I want to hear what was playing through your mind. But before we get to that, I'd like to thank Icings on Top, Breeze Graphics, everyone that does this, SUPRS for putting on an amazing show, and Hairbag Studios for the playbacks and recordings, because KT can't get enough accolades. But no, I'm happy to finish second. Would have been happier to finish first, but chasing you down, I didn't see how that was going to happen. Congrats, man. Tell us about your night.
Well, thanks, Rob. It was a heck of a night, man. It took me, I think, longer than it ever has to pick up a win on the season. So that's exciting. I like this swing, and I really like this racetrack. Yeah, that was starting up front was good. I knew, in years past, it was important. Starting position was everything. Trying to keep the nose clean, but I got some damage trying to get around Zach a little bit there, and then that you can't really get any damage here, man. And boy, you reeled me in. I think I had like a 1.9 second lead or something like that at one point, and I got real nervous. And like D-Rock61 Jr. says in chat, the broadcast got real quiet. So hard to talk and race at the same time to begin with, because I'm not that talented. But boy, when that gap closes up and you got a champion on your rear end and a guy who's won a lot here, I knew I really had to get after it and focus. And lap times were not that good. And I certainly thought that Dave was going to be up there with you and Keith. And I saw him pass on the outside in the heat race. And that one really scared me. But no, I'm just glad to be here. Glad we had a great bunch of guys in here tonight. Thanks to Heat Finder guys for being here, Jeff and Dave. Great competitors. And lap traffic was good tonight. A little bit of problem once there, but It's a tough joint. Just had to try to plan those passes. I didn't want to catch the traffic at the end of the race like I did, but it actually, I think, benefited me to some degree. So, um, I, I, I wanted to take it a little bit easier at the beginning than what I did because I know how much the right front wears out here. But all in all, good night. I want to thank First Finish Race Servers, Rob. Great service again tonight for TeamSpeak and the race server, and KT Breeze Graphics, Hairbag Studios doing the producer night, and icing's on top, man, for everything they do for Supers. So glad to see Art Smitherman in tonight from Canada, hanging out, and hope to see him on the track soon as well. So great night racing here at the Square Circle. Probably the best I'll run all week. But yeah, that was fun. I'm happy.
Well, it's awesome to hear from D-Rock in the forums. I'm sure he's out there hanging out with his firefighting brothers. And what do you think of tomorrow with Nazareth? I think that's going to be a pivotal track, having the loosest car that you can keep under your fanny for 25 laps at Nazareth. Let me know what you think, brother, and then I'll throw it right back to you.
Yeah, well, yeah, no, it's that R Factor race is going to be cool. Guys will be tuning. I think the guys are going to be hanging it out, especially through the dog leg and with the elevation changes there. It's such a unique and cool racetrack. Wish it was still around in real life, especially for the IndyCar guys to run at. But that's another one of those deals where Bruton Smith buys things up and closes tracks to move them to other profitable tracks. So we'll leave it at that. But home of Mario Andretti's very first win. Mario just turned 80 there last week. So yeah, I'm excited to race there. I don't do very well there usually, but I love the racetrack. And it's a day race, so I know that tire wear is going to play into it tomorrow night. And it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. So I know it'll be a lot of fast guys. So I'm just going to try to go out there and finish the race. That's every week. You know, I think that's the most important thing for everybody. But yeah, that'll be fun tomorrow night for sure. Hey, let's talk to the guy that finished third tonight, Keith Powell. He says he's got a draft car for Nazareth. Keith, what kind of car did you have tonight at Route 93?
I had a good bump drafting car tonight too. I bumped Rob quite a few times and shot him up ahead. um, First of all, congrats to you, Bobby. It was a good run. I just got into Rob way too early in the race, and then a couple laps after that, Dave got into the back of me, and so me and Dave both was just watching you guys up front. We had too much damage, but I I like this place. I usually have a pretty fast car here. It wasn't really showing tonight. Hope we could have kept the car clean a little bit longer, but you know, that's just nature of the beast when it comes to this joint. You can keep your momentum up around here, but you're going to have to sacrifice one of the corners. You can't get good runs off of both corners. So some guys get, you know, good runs off two, and I was getting really good run off of four. That's when I got in the back of Rob. And then another time I got a really big run off of four and got beside him on the outside, but he could just roll one and two a lot better. We come up on some lap traffic, and I got to the inside of him, and we rubbed a little bit again. But I just let him have the spot. That's, you know, how we always used to do it from way back. So let him, you know, have the spot and gather it up, and then just watched you guys again. But congrats on the win, and congrats for Rob on second place. Real quick, I got to thank Icings on top. First Fish Race Servers, SUPRS, Hairbag Studios, and Breeze Graphics. I mean, you all do a ton of work, and actually gotta give a shout out to Brad. Thank him for, you know, all the stats that he's been doing and stuff. He's kind of stepped up this season, and I know we all highly appreciate the work that he's doing with all that. But shout out D-Rock, hey man, and can't wait to see you back on the track. We'll just pick up all our front end pieces out of Rob's hauler, and we'll go to Nazareth tomorrow.
That's what we're all going to do too, folks, and we hope that you'll join us as well for night number 2 of the 3-night Keystone Nationals swing through picturesque Pennsylvania. We are at Nazareth National Speedway tomorrow night, the 1-mile dog leg that is just so tricky and cool. Elevation changes, different degrees of banking, a push-off lane or pit lane, safety lane, warm-up lane designed by Rick Mears. It is a great racetrack built on the site of the old fairgrounds track where Mario Andretti got his very first win after moving to America. So we are excited to get going, and we hope that you'll join us tomorrow night on SUPRS Live at 9 on Twitch as well as supers.net. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook as well as Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. For real Super Modified Racing News, real quick, we want to give a shout out to Real Super's member, lifetime member, Real Super Modified Racer Jeff West, who's purchased a car for 6-time Oswego Speedway International Classic 200 champion Greg Furlong to compete with at select shows this year. Jeff getting back into the car ownership deal with another driver, and it's where Greg got his first start is with Jeff West. So Super's member Jeff West getting ready to go, as well as Super's member Mike Nedishin working on his real race car to get tuned up for the season. So while we race online, we support Real Super Modified Racing and help injured drivers through the Dion Parrish Memorial Benevolent Fund. We want to remind you that you can make a donation at any time, whether we're broadcasting or not, by going to supers.net and clicking the donate tab. For our top 3 tonight, we want to say thanks for being here, folks. You are the best fans in sim racing, dedicated, die-hard, super modified sim racing fans, freaks, and fanatics, and we sure do love having you. Don't forget, come back tomorrow night for night number 2 of the 15th Annual Keystone Nationals. Stay tuned. We're going to do a raid on another sim racing channel at the end of the broadcast. Thanks to First Finish Race Servers, Icing's on Top, Breeze Graphics, Hairbag Studios, and video producer Kevin Timmons for all the great work here tonight. We're leaving Slusser, Pennsylvania, headed to Nazareth, and we're wing side up and wheels to the ground.
Well, if you're gonna do it, I say do it with someone you love. And if you're going through it, I say do it with someone you love. I've been around a long time, in and out of love. But if you're gonna do it, I say do it with someone you love. Come on, do it.